Stefan Diggs' $1 billion surprise for Cardi B. The story that changed everything. The night started like any other in their luxury Atlanta estate, but nothing about this night would remain ordinary. Stefan Diggs had been strangely quiet all day, not distant, but focused, intensely focused. Cardi noticed it. He wasn't scrolling through his phone, wasn't on video calls with teammates, wasn't reviewing plays. He was simply observing her. Cardi, dressed in an oversized pink hoodie and diamond anklet, kept glancing at him like, "Yo, why you staring at me like that? What's up?" He smiled every time, but gave no answers. The energy shift. When the sun set, Stefan gently grabbed her hand. "Get dressed," he whispered. Cardi frowned. "Get dressed for what?" "No questions. Trust me." She sucked her teeth, rolled her eyes playfully, but deep down, her heart started beating fast. He never acted like this unless something major was coming. Cardi went upstairs and picked out a stunning shimmering black gown. She did her makeup soft, tied her hair half up, and wore the necklace Stefan got her on their first anniversary. When she came downstairs, he froze. "You look like you were crafted, not born," he said softly. Cardi felt butterflies. Stef rarely complimented lightly. When he spoke like that, he meant it with his soul. They walked outside, and Cardi gasped. The jet. The red carpet. The cameras. A private jet sat on the runway at their personal landing strip, covered in rose petals. Not flowers. Rose petals. The entire lane shimmered red like a royal coronation. Cardi's mouth dropped open. "Stef, what is this?" Again, only one answer. "Trust me." As they boarded, she noticed champagne chilling, a violinist sitting in the cabin, and a photographer discreetly waiting in the corner. "Stefan Jerome Diggs, you better not be doing something crazy," she warned. Oh, he was. Very crazy. The final destination. Hours later, the jet landed. In Dubai. Not the regular airport, the private terminal reserved for royals. A fleet of black Rolls-Royces waited. Security escorts aligned the runway. The ground itself was lined with gold lights. Cardi started shaking her head. "Nah. Nah. You're doing too much, what is this?" "We're almost there," he told her, holding her waist tightly. They drove into the desert, not an ordinary desert, a private oasis built from the ground up, just for tonight. When she stepped out of the car, Cardi froze. The desert palace. Imagine a palace in the middle of glowing dunes, illuminated with thousands of lanterns floating in midair. Fireworks silently shimmered above, like stars bowing. A massive stage was set in front of a crystal blue reflecting pool. Roses everywhere. Even the sand was sculpted into their initials. Cardi literally covered her mouth with both hands. "Stefan. What is this?" He finally took a deep breath. "Tonight, I need to tell you the truth." Her heart dropped. The confession. Stef took her hands. "I've spent my whole life giving everything to football. My time. My energy. My body. My youth. Everything. But somewhere along the line, I realized none of that mattered if I didn't have someone to share it with." Cardi's eyes glossed instantly. "You became my peace, Belcalis. My home. My best friend. My fire. My reason." Her breath trembled. "And I decided, you deserve the world." She stepped back, overwhelmed. "Stef, what did you do?" He snapped his fingers. The reveal, $1 billion. The lights shifted. The ground projection lit up, showing a rotating image of a massive futuristic city blueprint. Cardi blinked. "What am I looking at?" Stefan stepped forward. "I bought 45 acres of land outside of Abu Dhabi. And I built something. For you. For us. For our kids. For your legacy. Cardi shook her head aggressively. Stefan, you're scaring me. Belcalis Almanzar, this is your city. Her jaw dropped. My what? Your city, he repeated. Worth $1 billion. Fully paid. Fully owned. Fully in your name. Cardi almost collapsed on the sand. Her knees buckled and Stefan caught her by the waist. Why would you do something like that, for me, she whispered, shaking. His voice cracked. Because the world tried to break you. I want to build one for you instead. The city details, insane. The hologram showed everything. Sparkle's Cardi B Performing Arts Stadium. Sparkle's Belcalis Fashion District. Sparkle's Cardi and Stef Luxury Resort. Sparkle's a Women's Empowerment Center. Sparkle's a hospital wing dedicated to mothers. Sparkle's a music museum featuring her journey from the Bronx to global superstardom. Sparkle's a school named after their baby. Cardi's tears streamed non-stop. She couldn't speak. Stefan wiped her cheeks. I don't want to love you small, Cardi. I want to love you in a way the world has never seen before. The proposal twist. He turned around and signaled. The sky exploded with fireworks spelling. Will you build forever with me? Cardi's entire body shook. Not, will you marry me? Not, be my wife. Something deeper. He wasn't asking for a ring. He was asking her to build a dynasty with him. Cardi loses control. She screamed. She cried. She hit him on the shoulder. She hugged him. She paced around the sand. She crouched down sobbing. She laughed uncontrollably. She collapsed into his chest. Every emotion at once. Stefan, you just gave me a city. A whole city. What is wrong with you? He held her tight. You deserve a universe. But I'm starting with a city. Her answer. Finally she pulled back, mascara running, shaking like she just lived 5 lifetimes. She whispered. Yes. Yes, Stefan. I'll build forever with you. I'll build everything with you. He lifted her off the ground as fireworks turned the desert sky into daylight. Photographers captured it. The internet would explode. History had just been made. The night ends with a legendary moment. Stefan carried her into the palace. He placed the deed, gold-plated, into her hands. Cardi held it like she was holding the world. The violinist played softly in the background as they kissed under the lanterns. And in that moment, Cardi B, the girl from the Bronx who fought the world to survive, became the owner of a billion-dollar city, gifted by a man who loved her beyond imagination. This wasn't a proposal. This wasn't a gift. This was a legacy. Here is a very long, dramatic, emotional, internet-melting fictional story for your title. Stef Diggs' $1 billion surprise for Cardi B shocks the entire world. The internet had already been buzzing non-stop about Cardi B and Stefan Diggs. Every whisper, every hint, every rumor became a wildfire. But nothing, absolutely nothing prepared the world for what was about to happen. Because Stef Diggs wasn't just planning a surprise. He was planning the biggest romantic gesture in celebrity history, one worth $1 billion. And it all started on a quiet Thursday morning. Chapter 1, Cardi's stress hits its peak. Cardi B had been exhausted for weeks. Between studio sessions, baby appointments, drama with Offset lurking in the shadows, and non-stop questions from fans about her relationship with Stef, she felt overwhelmed. Even though Stef had been her rock, she still felt the pressure tightening around her like a belt. That morning, as she sat on the balcony of their rental mansion in Malibu, looking at the ocean, she whispered. Damn. I just need one day of peace. Her phone buzzed. She checked it. Stef. Pack your bags, love. Wear something comfortable. Trust me. Cardi frowned. What now? Another interview? Another event? But Stef added. No press. No cameras. Just us. I promise you, today will change everything. She had no idea how literal that message was. Chapter 2, A Mysterious Flight. Stefan picked her up in a black Maybach with security trailing behind. Cardi noticed something strange immediately. He seemed nervous. Stef Diggs, the man who could walk into a Super Bowl stadium and not blink, was fidgeting like a teenager asking for prom. They drove to a private airfield. Cardi expected a jet. But instead, she saw two jets. Both matte black. Both brand new. Babe, what's happening? She asked. Stef smiled softly. You'll see. He guided her onto the first jet, which was decorated with white roses, candles, soft Randy B music, and a single gold envelope placed on the seat. Cardi picked it up and opened it. Inside, it said only one thing. Phase 1. She looked up at him. Phase 1 of what? Stef just kissed her forehead and buckled her seatbelt. Chapter 3, The First Shock. They flew for 45 minutes and landed in a secluded location in Northern California, lush forest, mountains, and a long private runway. But it was what greeted her that made Cardi's jaw drop. A line of SUVs. Not just any SUVs, custom Rolls-Royce Cullinans, 12 of them, each a different color, each with a bow. Cardi turned to Stef, mouth hanging open. What is this? Stef laughed. Pick one. Or two. Or 12. You bought all these? For what? He replied simply. For us. For our family. For our future. But that was just the warm-up. Chapter 4, The Billion-Dollar Land. He walked her down a stone path toward a massive iron gate. As it opened automatically, Cardi gasped so loudly Stef had to hold her arm. Spread before them. A private 700-acre estate overlooking a crystal blue lake. Not a house. Not a mansion. Not a compound. Not even an estate. This was practically a small country. Cardi's hand trembled. Babe, what is this place? Stef looked at her with that soft, protective gaze he saved only for her. This is yours. Cardi froze. Mine. Stop playing, Stefan. Mine. He nodded. I bought the entire land. Every acre. Every hill. Every tree. Every shoreline. And I put it in your name. Cardi covered her mouth, tears forming instantly. Why? Because I love you. Because you deserve peace. Because you deserve a kingdom. And because, this is only phase 2. Chapter 5, The Billion-Dollar Reveal. They continued walking until they reached a breathtaking clearing where the sun lit the mountains like gold. In the center stood a massive velvet-covered structure. Cardi stared. Babe, what's under that? Stef inhaled deeply. He took her hands, nervous again, heartbeat racing. Cardi, this is something I've been working on for 8 months. Something for you. Something for our future. And with a signal to his team, they pulled the cover off. Cardi screamed. Her legs went weak. She burst into tears instantly. Because standing before her was a $1 billion private resort built just for her. Not for guests. Not for tourists. Not for renting. For Cardi. Everything inside customized with her favorite colors, her favorite designs, her favorite scents, even her childhood memories incorporated into the architecture. A spa the size of a football stadium. A concert hall built specifically for her acoustics. A private recording studio underground with gold-plated soundproofing. A fashion runway carved into the landscape. A luxury neonatal and pediatric wing for her babies. A meditation garden designed like a Caribbean rainforest. Cardi collapsed into Stef's chest, sobbing uncontrollably. "I don't deserve this, why would you do all this for me?" Stef held her tightly, refusing to let go. "You deserve more. You saved me. You changed me. And I swear to God, Cardi, I'm building a future for you that nobody can break. No drama. No hate. Just love." Cardi cried harder. Chapter 6, The Final Surprise.